Hello everyone, Mr. Lipchick here, and our topic for discussion is an introduction to Oceania. Australia is a part of Oceania. Australia is the smallest continent on Earth. It is entirely south of the equator, hence its nickname, the land down under, and it is completely surrounded by water. And it is about the size of the continental United States. Australia's population is only 19 million people. Most people live on the coast, as the center of the country is mostly desert. Coastal regions get enough rain to support forests and agriculture. And there are natural harbors in cities like Sydney and Melbourne that have developed around them. In northern Australia, the weather is tropical. The Great Barrier Reef lies north of the continent. It is a massive coral reef measuring over 1,200 miles north to south. On eastern Australia, hills and mountains rise above the coastal plains. The Highlands on the eastern edge of Australia include the Blue Mountains, tablelands, and snowy mountains, and are known as the Great Dividing Range. The valleys in the Highlands are some of Australia's best areas for agriculture, sheep grazing, and winemaking. The Murray River has its headwaters in the Highlands. It flows toward the sea at Goolwa. Some of the peaks in the Great Dividing Range are over 6,500 feet high. The range blocks moist sea air from reaching in the interior of the continent, so that west of the range are wheat fields and pastures, and they can do well there. Further inland is the arid Outback, covering 70% of the continent. The Outback is rich in mineral resources. Alice Springs is the largest settlement in the Outback, serving as the region's commercial, communication, and tourist hub. The area around Alice Springs is known as Red Center because of the color of the desert soils. The area has many dramatic geographic formations, like the one to the right. And it is also true that Australia is the oldest of the world's continents. Because of its long history of separation from the other continents, which were, once they were all together, they were called Pangaea, its plants and animals are unique. Many unique species of trees and plants grow there. And a large flightless bird called the cassowary lives there. Streams and rivers are inhabited by dangerous crocodiles and other creatures. Eucalyptus trees are unique to Australia. Australian gum forests are home to ibises, cockatoos, lorikeets, parrots, and brown kookaburras. Kangaroos and koalas inhabit the gum forest. They are marsupials who carry their young in pouches. There is bird life in the desert too, including the emu. The emu is a large flightless bird similar to the ostrich. The flat-tailed lizard and the thorny devil blend into the dried leaves and mud of the area. The red kangaroo is the desert's largest native animal. Many plant and animal species have been introduced to Australia. Many sheep, cattle, horses, camels, and goats live in the wild. Game animals such as deer also live there. Plants such as wheat, sugarcane, bananas, and other plants have been introduced as well. New Zealand. New Zealand is an independent Pacific island country. It is comprised of two large islands, the North Island and the South Island. It lies about 1,400 miles southeast of Australia, and it is about the size of Great Britain. Both islands are primarily mountainous. New Zealand sits on an active geothermal region and has hot springs and erupting geysers. The Southern Alps are located on the South Island. And the highest peak is Mount Cook at 12,000 feet. The mountains are capped by glaciers. Fjords, such as Milford Sound, were created when ancient glaciers created valleys. The capital city, Christchurch, is located on the South Island's Canterbury Plain. New Zealand stretches nearly 1,000 miles. New Zealand has a wide range of climates. The northernmost part of the North Island is close to the equator and is subtropical. The South Island is cooler with its mountains and fjords. The mountains split South Island in half, blocking rain and making the eastern side much sunnier than the western side. Introduced animals and plants have harmed New Zealand's native species. The government has taken steps to protect them with national parks. New Zealand is known for raising herds of sheep, and wool is a major export. Oceania. Oceania is a group of islands spread throughout the South Pacific Ocean. It has a landmass of 2,988,888 square miles. It is made up of Australia, New Zealand, Micronesia, Polynesia, and Melanesia. It is a series of islands, atolls, archipelagos, stretching from Western Australia to the Pitcairn Islands in the east. It stretches north to south, from the northern Mariana Islands, south to New Zealand. Oceania is located within the Pacific Ring of Fire. There's a great deal of seismic activity due to near continuous shifting of tectonic plates. It has created several bands of volcanoes and deep ocean trenches. And there are many earthquakes, some of the Earth's most severe. The Mariana Trench in northern Oceania is the deepest ocean depth in the world. The deepest part, Challenger Deep, is 6.7 miles below the ocean surface. It was created by the collision of the Pacific tectonic plate and the Philippine plate. That concludes our introduction to Oceania. I appreciate your attending, and I look forward to seeing you in the live lesson. Have a great day.